Everyone, konnichiwa, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ali and I'm a British lady living in Japan. If you are not new here, welcome back. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my return to Japan. I've just spent the past 6 weeks with baby Rio in the UK, in my motherland. And I want to talk in this video a little bit about that trip, as well as why it was just so lovely to come back to Japan. I guess I've lived here long enough now that Japan is kind of home as well. Of course, UK and London will always have a special place in my heart. Yes. Yeah, it will always have a special place in my heart. But I think, yeah, Japan, like, for the reasons I moved here and for the journey that's happened since moving here, things that I would never even have expected when I first just decided to come here for a 7-month holiday. Now I'm in my 8th year of living in Japan, and I have not only a very lovely Japanese husband, but also a very cutie little baby, a half. So yeah, the adventures just keep going. So in this video, I'm going to just share with you some general things about the UK, about Japan, some differences, as well as, yeah, the reason that I was just like really happy to be coming back. Just a brief story then about why I went to the UK. There's a phrase that it takes a village to raise a child, and I think at first I wanted to be the mum and struggle through, but going back to the UK I think made me feel more confident as a mother. I saw that despite even like, oh, humongous ants, my lad. Yucky. We do not need humongous ants in our lives. Those were really big ants. Scary. So basically I went to the UK to catch up with friends and family, to feel that support. As a first-time mum, there are so many new things that you're facing and scary things, but to have them around me was really supportive, to the point that it made me a lot more confident as a mother. When I came back, I felt a big difference. Going to the UK with Rio helped me to be a bit more flexible and to be more confident as a mother, and also just like a closer friend to baby. Like for me, I really do think that being a mum or being a parent is about being a best friend to your child. So I had an amazing time. I met my friends, I spent lots of time in the parks and just connecting with my baby in the surroundings of my British family. And I must say that whilst it's nice for people to give you gifts and to make a fuss of you, the love that Rio received, it made me understand what it is to feel love when someone else is receiving love. So I think like having a baby, you experience unconditional love. And this is, you know, exactly what this journey of motherhood is teaching me, is that whatever happens to him, I feel it too. And when he cries, I feel sad. When he is happy, I feel joy. And when he's loved, I feel loved too. Both my husband and I have a lot of importance on family. And so we felt it was very important for him to be surrounded by love. And honestly, everyone I met, they just adored him. They just loved him so much. And I think that's really healthy, like in the core, even if he's too baby to actually understand it. I do feel that that's such an important thing. Okay, literally I'm so distracted. I'm gonna have to carry this on another time. Okay. Okay, I have literally no idea how many times have I tried to make this video. Sorry, it has been a bit chaotic. Anyway, I'm going to try to finish here, and I also can't remember which points I've already made, so I'm just going to try my best not to repeat myself too much. Baby has just woken up. Would you like to be in the video? Yes, there we are. There we are, little lad. okay, let me try my best to make this video. So I think it was hugely selfless and kind of my husband to send me and baby all the way to the other side of the world so that I could feel supported by my family and friends, and him not come with me. I think that must have been really, really hard for him. But both of us, we're very family people, and I think ultimately the goal was to surround Rio with as much love as possible, and that certainly did happen in the UK. Basically, every person that I met, friends, family, even people in the shop, would shower him with love. And definitely that's exactly what happens with my husband's family. So my family-in-law, they just love him so much. If you've seen any of the family gatherings, such as the Omiamairi or recent Children's Day video that I did, you'll just see that everyone loves him so, so much. And even if he's not conscious of that at this young age, I think it's still a really important basis to surround him with this feeling of support and love. Going to the UK was, I'll admit, it was really, really good for me because I was able to understand that actually I can be a mum somewhat single-handedly. And yes, I am able to feed my child, you know, exclusively breastfeeding. And it made me more confident as a mum, and it also made me more confident of my intuition. So understanding what baby might be needing. There were certain situations where other people were like, oh, I think he's hungry. And I was like, no, I really believe that he's just tired. And yeah, it just transpired that he was actually really, really tired. And as soon as we started walking in the stroller, he was completely gone for a 3-hour nap. So things like that, understanding your baby, even though today is the day that marks his 5 months birthday. Happy 5 months. So it's still really early days, and it's my first time being a mum. So I'm still learning, and I feel like he's teaching me as much as I'm teaching him. Like, we're constantly in this evolutionary state of just growing together, me as a mother and him as a small human. As lovely as it was to go there, it was lovely to come back and see my husband. Now, I think my dad must have said about 10 times throughout the holiday, please film my husband's face. When I get back in the airport, just film his face, his first reaction of seeing Rio in person for the first time after 6 weeks, because he's going to be shocked. And yeah, of course, like at this age, from 3 months to 5 months, babies grow a lot, and not just in their size, but in their personality, something I'll get to a bit later. I did film as we came out of the customs, and there my husband was ready to pick us up, like waiting at the airport, so excited to see both of us. Of course, he was completely overjoyed to see his family returning and to see his little boy again. But I think the real excitement, or the real just like delight in having his mini-me back, came when, like, in the aftermath. So when we got back, like in the taxi, he had cuddles, and Rio was kind of like studying him, like, I know you. I've seen a lot of people, but I know you. And then sort of having dinner together, and just in those days afterwards, thankfully I got back in the middle of Golden Week. So we had that time, yes, we had that time that my husband wasn't working, so we could just have family time together. And just like seeing my husband with the baby and the joy that his face was, he just said it all. You know, he didn't have to say anything with words. It was just in his expression, in the way that he played with the baby, in the way that he loves the baby so much. It was just so heartwarming and lovely to see.
Are you mesmerized by Daddy? You lovely Daddy over there.
I will say just quickly, after 6 weeks of not seeing his son, he was so over the moon, and I will share some pictures here because it was just like, it made me so happy to see how happy he was to see baby. And now he's not so baby. He has more personality, he's looking around, he's giggling with dad and chatting away with dad. So it's really nice that my husband can engage with him in that way, as opposed to when he was just a newborn and all he needed was milk and sleep.
Although I'm not Japanese, I have lived here for quite a long time, and in some ways I do feel that this is home. So coming back home, it felt really right, it felt really nice. And after living in other people's houses for the past 6 weeks, it felt like, oh yes, this is my shower, my bowl, and my spoon, and like just little tiny little details like that. It was a wonderful holiday, but I think it was also really lovely to come back and see my life with fresh eyes, to feel joy in the tiny little mundane details that perhaps we don't notice on a daily basis. And yeah, I really felt that for like a while after coming back. I just felt such joy to have my life here and to be reunited with my husband, and just, yeah, like such joy in my everyday life, really. And that feeling was it made me feel so light and fresh. I don't know whether it's having a baby too, but I feel more able to connect with random people on the street. So yesterday, for example, when I tried to film the video and got attacked by some huge ants, there was another lady also in the park with her boy, and we just chatted, and it was really nice to be able to chat with someone that you don't know in this very light-hearted way. I think maybe having a child contributes to that lightness and ability to connect with others, but I think also just my feeling of being fresh from the holiday. Like, it's so nice to connect with people, and of course seeing friends and family who've been there like forever in my life. I felt how joyous that sense of connection was. So on the first morning that we came back, I woke up, I was like, aha, okay, I'm not in the UK anymore, I'm in Japan. And my husband was like, oh, by the way, my mother gave some photos from when he was a baby. So I was like, oh, okay, let's have a look. Now, I thought baby looked like me when I was a baby. And then I saw the picture of my husband. Look at this picture. Like, I was like to my husband, he is you. I feel like they're just the same. They look so similar. Do leave a comment, let me know in the comment section what you think. But for me, I was like, this is him, this is my husband. And I'm sure he's gonna look like me, and then he's gonna start looking like my husband, and then like me again, and then like my husband. I'm sure it will change over time as he grows, but I just was so shocked to see that photo and be like, yep, this is basically a second version of my husband. You look like Daddy. Yes, you do. So yeah, as I was saying, that Rio is obviously much bigger, not just growth in his body, but also in his personality. I think he's always been quite observant. He's always been curious about the world, looking around and really looking into people's eyes. I can't remember who said it, but they said, when he looks at you, it's like he's looking into your soul. And that's really funny because that's exactly what someone said about my father as well, that he looks into your soul. So I was like, oh, he's like his tata, he's like his grandpa too. And probably throughout my videos, even now, today probably, and in the future, like you will hear him babbling away to himself. He's very chatty and very expressive. And yeah, it's lovely that he's got much more personality. You know, they change so much so quickly. It's like he's listening to the conversation. It's like he knows what I'm saying. Do you know what Mummy's saying? So I think in myself, I feel a lot more calm and light, if that makes any sense. Of course, there's the ability to connect more, or to have a little chat with the person making my coffee rather than just ordering and then going and sitting down. Just to connect and be gentle with life. Yeah, I think the holiday was really good for me mentally and for perspective. I also feel a lot more comfortable being a mum and comfortable being a housewife. I take pride in cleaning the house, and I think now that I understand baby's routine a little bit more, I'm able to have, you know, a good 2 hours to do cleaning, and it's a joy for me. It's still novel, it's still exciting to be back in my home and putting things in, like, you know, sorting things out. And I think particularly the things that I'm really enjoying are cooking. I think I forgot how much I like cooking because it's so easy to get really delicious pre-packaged food here. Before, when I was busy, I would just put on some rice, buy a thing of sashimi, and that was dinner. Whereas now I'm more interested in trying like different cooking styles and just having a bit more fun in the kitchen.
I'm really enjoying cooking, actually. I think that's something that I rediscovered in the UK, is how much I just love to cook and just take my time. And I'm joking with my mum, but I'm like, I think my husband is happy for me to go away again, because when I come back, I'm like freshly excited about cooking, and every day I've got like a new recipe, and he's like, oh my gosh, it's so delicious. So yeah, maybe he enjoys saying goodbye to me.
My last point are just a few differences between the UK and Japan. One thing I really noticed, and this sounds strange, but it's the smell. There's like a distinct London smell. It's not a bad smell. It's not, I wouldn't say it's good or bad. It's just like, it smells like London. And as soon as I got off the plane, I smelt it straight away. It's very bizarre. I noticed as well that, oh yeah, the thing that I noticed when I came back to Japan, which is lovely, not only is it just beautifully green now, it being mid-May, but the smell, it smells so lovely. Like you'll just be walking around and there's this lovely fragrance of flowers.
It is funny being back. Like it's so nice, and I think, like, I may have mentioned this many times, but when I was in the UK, I started running again because I had, you know, my family members there to take care of baby whilst I ran, and it felt great to get back into, well, running is kind of like my morning ritual in a way. So to not be able to do that when I was pregnant and a new mother was, yeah, like a bit difficult for me. Of course I adapted, but anyway, it was nice to get back into running. And now I've completely forgotten what I'm talking about. I'm talking about running. Oh yes, so anyway, I completely forgot what I was talking about. So I've just come from London, where it's not that warm, and it's lovely now in Japan to be able to run and see the lush green trees. Like, it's so beautiful. I know cherry blossom is lovely, and I'm sorry to have missed it, but for me, there's nothing more lovely than this abundant, lush green that happens right after cherry blossom. It's so lovely. Since I've been back, we have done a picnic every single day. And my husband was like, oh, would you like to go, you know, to like one of our favorite restaurants? I said, not really, because I'm just loving the nature. There's something about Japan around this time of year. And yeah, like just like as you walk by some flowers, you get this lovely waft of nature. It's just such a nice time of year, and not too hot. But yeah, you can start to feel like winter is gone and summer is coming, and that makes me really happy.
It just smells so natural and fresh and clean. It's really, really nice. I think this time of year is really near to my heart because this is when I initially started living in Japan. So yeah, this time of year is really close to my heart. Also, it's the start of summer, and to be able to sit outside now with my baby in Japan, it's just like the most wonderful feeling to be living this life. I feel so lucky. And also, I think it's not just about what kind of life you live, but having that space to really have perspective, really understand, like, to be grateful, to understand what you're grateful for in your life. And yes, things could always be more perfect or slightly different, but I think in conclusion, after this holiday, I truly feel grateful for life exactly as it is right now, for the way that things are, for the love that we are able to surround our baby with, and for having him in the first place. Do you have any last words, Ria? Anything you'd like to say to Mina-san? Japanese or English? どっちでもいい? I see. Right. Well, on that note, before he eats the microphone, I will say goodbye. Thank you so much. And until next time, じゃあね。じゃあね。